DeVonta Smith.
DeVonta Smith.
One of the most rare and unique talents in college football.
Is the most impossible receiver to cover one-on-one in all of college football.
He tops ESPN's Heisman watch. A very good argument. He's the best player in the country.
He has so many different ways to mess with you.
DeVonta Smith is having one of the best seasons for a wide receiver in college football history. Having over 1,600 yards and 21 touchdowns from scrimmage, he's also currently the favorite to win this year's national championship with Bama, and is also the favorite to be this year's Heisman Trophy recipient. So that's the point of today's video. Normally on this channel, we focus on NBA 2K and basketball, but I really want to just try something new. Smith has the chance to be the first wide receiver in nearly 30 years to win the Heisman. So you guys are gonna want to make sure that you guys stick around throughout the entire video just to see how dominant he could possibly be in the NFL. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go ahead and drop a like on it. Go ahead and subscribe. Let's get 220 likes for another career sim. And other than that, let's get straight into this video. As we enter into the 2021 NFL Draft, we see a lot of action right off the bat. Of course, the New York Jets, they actually did not screw themselves, and they actually still land the #1 overall draft pick, and they end up picking up Trevor Lawrence. With the 2nd overall pick, the Jags decide to go ahead and pick up Justin Fields, and honestly, through what we just saw against Clemson, this is a really good draft pick. The Falcons also decided to take Jamar Chase with the 4th overall pick, and as we move through the NFL draft, we see the Los Angeles Chargers shock the entire world by taking DeVonta Smith with the 11th overall pick, pairing him up with rookie phenom Justin Herbert, and a very controversial pick because they needed a lineman. They really needed a lineman to actually protect him. Plus, they already had Pro Bowl receiver Keenan Allen and Mike Williams as well. Coming into the league as a 76 overall, Smith has also decided to sign with Under Armour, pairing him up with DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson. The Chargers' plan is to basically use Smith in the slot as some type of safety net for Justin Herbert. And with all of the potential they see in Smith, they really want to use Keenan Allen and Mike Williams as mentors to possibly form one of the most loaded offenses of all time. And Smith almost immediately took the league by storm, but unfortunately he suffered a partial MCL tear, which made him miss 6 weeks of the entire season. The Chargers missed out on the playoffs with a record of 6-10, but it looks like Herbert and Smith already have a phenomenal connection. I mean, literally, Herbert is already one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league, and Smith finishing up his rookie season, he finished off with 46 receptions, 804 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns, while also being one of the most deadly return men in the entire league. All of this finished off with him being 4th in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting, and that's after missing almost half of the entire season. That's a really good way to start off a career. Heading into season number 2, I mean, this was really interesting because Anthony Lynn didn't really address any of the massive issues of this roster, which is mainly offensive line. He brought in no linemen in free agency, and he literally used the 7th overall pick in this draft to take George Pickens out of Georgia, who is the #1 receiver in the 2022 draft. So it's pretty safe to say that, he made no real changes. He just added more guys into the rotation. And I guess at this point, it's kind of obvious of like his plans for Keenan Allen. He's clearly moving towards younger receivers. So I don't know how that's gonna impact this roster. At the end of this season, the Chargers actually managed to win the entire division with a record of 10-6. This time, Smith looked like the clear-cut #1 on this team. I mean, Herbert was 3rd in the league in passing yards and #1 in touchdowns. And Smith, in his 2nd season, his first full season, was #1 in the entire league in yards and in touchdowns, with over 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns, and over 900 yards on special teams with 2 TDs. This dominance led to him being voted into the Pro Bowl, as well as being the best wide receiver in the entire league. So obviously, this team made the playoffs. Our Wildcat game was against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who actually just added Baker Mayfield to their roster to replace Big Ben, which only means that the Steelers are going to continue getting QBs that are very controversial. That's all I'm saying. And for the most part, this game was really close. Austin Eckler was out of this game, and the main goal was just to lead this team to the victory and just hang in there. I mean, Johnson and Smith were just amazing. DeVonta Smith, he really showed his versatility in this game, ultimately allowed us to pull out of here with a victory 34-26. Heading on to the next round, the Chargers faced the Cleveland Browns, who at this point, they have Odell, they have Nick Chubb, and they got Sam Darnold to replace Baker. That's an L. This would actually be a decent fight, but eventually they take the L as Smith continued to show out with 159 yards and 2 touchdowns, but we only won by 6 points. But ultimately, we advanced to the AFC Championship against the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, which would also be a really close battle in which Hunter Henry shows off his clutchness. And this is the part where we head to overtime. And after a miracle play from Keenan Evans over the middle, we're gonna be walking out of here with a dub and advancing to this year's Super Bowl. I really feel like the Chargers are one of those feel-good stories because this season everything is going perfect for them. And heading into this year's Super Bowl, we're taking on the New Orleans Saints without Drew Brees. And matter of fact, they have Smith's former college QB, Mac Jones. And this game would start off very bad for us. We would go down early, being down 7-20 in the third quarter. But guys, at this point, DeVonta Smith and his boy Justin, these boys would just flip a switch. And yeah, we start to actually fight back a little bit, making highlight plays with Mike Williams and DeVonta Smith just taking over the entire game. This would lead us to taking a 38-30 lead and winning the Super Bowl. And by no one's surprise, DeVonta Smith takes home this year's Super Bowl MVP award after a dominant performance. At this point, it's pretty safe to say that the entire league is watching. DeVonta Smith and Justin Herbert are starting to get crazy comparisons like Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, and even Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. This duo looks like it's gonna be here for a really long time. We're already 2 seasons in, and we're winning championships. At this point, the potential is just endless. At the end of the third season, Smith and the Chargers are back in the playoffs, winning their division with a record of 11-5. This season, Smith was only second on the team in yards, but still had well over 1,100 yards and still got to the end zone a bunch of times with 12 touchdowns. Herbert also won MVP this season, and Smith goes back-to-back with the best wide receiver award. We also dominate again in the playoffs, making it back to the Super Bowl for the second year in a row, where we would once again go up against Mac Jones and the New Orleans Saints. Unfortunately, these guys wrapped this up real quick and sent us home. They straight blow us out of the park. I don't even know where to go, because in year 2, we win a Super Bowl. In year 3, we make it back and just get blasted. At this point, I would hope that Anthony Lynn would make some type of moves, but we just gotta really be patient and see. In season 4, this team would just underperform and miss the playoffs. However, Smith still pushes up another 1,000-yard season and finally reaches a 99 overall and gets a massive contract extension. So yeah, so far he's taken a lot of W's. And in season 5, the same thing would actually occur. This team would miss the playoffs as this team's defense suffered with massive injuries from Derwin James and from Joey Bosa. Smith also misses out on this year's Pro Bowl as the team finishes off with the worst record in the entire league. Yeah guys, at this time, we are going out terrible. And in season 6, the team would finally get back to the playoffs after another stellar season from DeVonta Smith and Justin Herbert, as this time finish again with a record of 11-5. And in the first round, it looks like we'd be taking on the 8-8 Baltimore Ravens, who this time they would fight for their lives and force an overtime. In this overtime, their defense would show up big, getting multiple tackles for loss until 3rd and 20, where we would see a big time play from DeVonta Smith. And this is gonna set up another huge play from George Pickens. With Smith and Pickens playing out of their minds, it's really starting to show what's about to happen to Keenan Allen. This man is starting to get fed up. I'm talking about he's starting to hate a little bit because the guys coming after him are taking all of the receptions. And you guys got to remember, this is a contract year. At this point, it's becoming very clear that they're trying to replace him. So yeah, and heading on to the next round, we have the Buffalo Bills with Stephon Diggs and with Josh Allen, but these guys don't waste any time at all. They pack us up real quick. I'm talking about they put us in a suitcase and they send us home almost immediately. And after that loss, they would go on to win that year's Super Bowl, and the Chargers decide to let Keenan Allen walk in free agency, and he joins the Oakland Raiders. For seasons 7 through 9, the Chargers would be complete garbage, straight terrible, and for most of it, missing out on the playoffs every single season, and Smith putting up kind of mid numbers. However, guys, in season 9, Smith would put up an historical season, and even though the Chargers were horrible this year and had another bad season, Smith put up over 1,700 receiving yards, which is 7th all time, 15 touchdowns, 92 receptions, and would still end up making this year's Pro Bowl. Heading into season number 10, this is where we really start to see Smith's regression, as now he's a 97 overall. And after that, guys, I'm gonna be honest, the Chargers were done for. I mean, Smith kept putting up very solid numbers with Herbert and with Pickens, just keeping that core together, but the front office just never making any additions to the O-line or really getting better at all. Literally, this team would never make the playoffs again for the rest of Smith's entire career. In his final season at the age of 35, we see Smith put up another incredible 1,000-yard season. And even this year, he made the Pro Bowl, so literally dude is walking out on top of the entire world. We also see a 40-something-year-old Patrick Mahomes win MVP. Yeah, guys, these dudes have figured out, and they possibly beat Father Time because literally they're still putting up numbers at the end of their career. We'd also go ahead and see everyone retire as Patrick Mahomes and the Chargers' big three of Pickens, Herbert, and of course DeVonta Smith all go ahead and call it a career. I'm gonna be honest, in this sim, Smith is possibly one of the greatest players of all time, receiving Super Bowl MVP, in addition to multiple Pro Bowls, multiple awards, and setting numerous records. And literally, this guy never went under 1,000 yards in one full season, other than at the age of like 33 years old. This is really impressive. And this dude literally has one of the most yards in a career of all time, and really just put the Chargers on his back. So guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think about DeVonta Smith and just how good he can be in the actual league. There's a good chance that he wins the Heisman tomorrow night. Can he win the MVP in the NFL? But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go ahead and drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what other videos you guys want to see on this channel. You guys can also check out all of the other videos on the screen right now. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out, guys. Peace.